As ag continues to face mounting pressures to become more sustainable, biological solutions like biocontrol and biostimulants are gaining momentum. These innovations promise not only to improve productivity, but also to support the planet. But it's not all smooth sailing en route to widespread adoption. Few companies know the biological space as well as Agrauxine, so we caught up with Agrauxine's Barry Johnson to talk about what's ahead.
Barry, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to jumping into some big questions about biologicals. But before we get into what's ahead in the biological realm, let's talk a little bit about where we are at this point. What is the current reality for biologicals?
Well, it's active for sure. A lot of companies jumping into it, a lot of foundational companies that have been around are starting to recognize the importance of it. So, and then you're having all these entrepreneurial type companies coming in and feeding the industry as well, bringing new ideas, new organisms, things of that nature that provide solutions for the business. So it's an exciting time. It's developing as we speak. I think we're just on the cusp of, what's going to happen in the next decade or 2 decades. So we're just getting started, really.
So how does it fit in? How do biologicals fit into the conventional landscape of agriculture?
Yeah. So, it's part of the conventional landscape. So, I think part of the legs on the chair is fertility, genetics, IPM programs, and biologicals. So biological is part of that. It's just something that we haven't been addressing as much of, but it complements all those other legs on the stool. So it's significantly tied into that, and it's complementary, and it's a requirement, really. You have to have biological activity and balance is a key word, I think. And that's a lot of things, or things that we're doing a lot of is bringing balance to the rhizosphere, to the root system.
So you mentioned tip of the iceberg. Mm-hmm. We're just getting started.
Right.
What do you see as coming? What are the big trends, the big innovations, the future of biologicals?
Well, I think it's multifaceted. So, it's not just one particular, there's living microorganisms, there's categories like yeast. That's a category of biologicals in itself that is interesting because you can use living yeast, you can use, fractions of yeast. So all these things are new and developing, and the key is delivering them in an effective formulation that is farmer friendly to use, and that's really important because it takes the intimidation factor away.
So you mentioned earlier that conventional products can align with biologicals. You said that Absolutely. Biologicals are really part of conventionals. How do you see that relationship evolving as we move forward?
I think you're going to see more combination approaches. Lack of a better term, co-packs with conventional solutions with biological solutions to enhance that, synthetic approach. Yeah. You might say. So it's completely complementary. And in some cases, the biological component may be a new solution to something that maybe isn't working as well conventionally. So, it can be an improvement or enhancement, or again, it's a programmed approach, the way I see it.
So we speak in our business about, we are part of the seed value chain, mm-hmm. but our real business is connecting people to people. Yeah. And such a huge trend in agriculture today is collaboration between organizations. So talk to me about that, about how companies, what you're seeing in companies working together to move biologicals forward, and what opportunities there are on a wider basis.
Absolutely. There's a lot of collaboration because not everybody can do everything. So, people that have a certain expertise in a certain genre of biologicals can collaborate with a company that has solutions more on a conventional platform. And it's You're seeing it in the seed industry side. You're seeing it in the conventional crop protection side as well. So collaboration is key, and it's a must because, again, a lot of these smaller companies don't have the same access as the larger companies do. So, our solution, our end user is the farmer, but we have to get to the farmer, and, this collaboration is the ability to do that.
A huge part of the partnership, maybe the most important piece of the partnership is, as you mentioned, with the farmer themselves. Talk to me about the communication strategy, the information sharing, the developing buy-in.
Yeah.
Both for biologicals, both on the farmer side, but I suppose also on the consumer and more general public side.
Yeah. So I think you have to come in and you have to provide confidence in what you're bringing. So confidence to me is coming with a lot of data, and we're a data-driven company from the standpoint of, you have to have your inherent inside data, then you have to support that with third-party data. And then the most important data to me is really the field performance data.
So now you and I have spoken before, and I know that you have deep passion for biologicals. What are you most excited about?
I think just the diversity of solutions that are coming to the market. It can't be a one-track train. It's got to be coming from multiple sites or areas, I guess. So there's complexity to that, but I think the other thing that we need to do is make the complex understandable, and that's the other part of the educational process as well.
Barry, it's always a pleasure to chat with you. I really appreciate you making time.
Very much.